Well, folks, here we go with another edition of Wings Weekly. Jay Klein Connect here, head coach Scott Langer right there. Coach, 3 games in 4 days, and boy, I tell you what, pretty intense. A lot happening there. You know, and funny thing is I didn't take a whole heck of a lot of notes on this week just because it felt like just so much more of like an emotional kind of thing. You get a shutout on Wednesday going into Thanksgiving. And then roll in on to Bismarck Friday, Saturday. Played them well. I mean, I really felt like that you guys played them solid, especially considering they're the number 1 team in the league and in the division. And we talked last week a little bit about stacking up and how things were going to look and so on. And then, of course, on Saturday, a huge win. We're going to break through those a little bit. But overall, as a lump, with a banged-up, beat-up team in a lot of ways, you had guys stepping up. You had Bronny playing some great goaltending between the pipes. You had a lot of things going your way, it seemed like, over the last, few days.
Yeah, it's never easy when you have 3 and 4 days. It's a quick turnaround altogether, and obviously you throw a holiday in there. But Wednesday, Bronny had a great game. Obviously he pitched a shutout, and Leo showed up as he always does, and obviously he had the 3 goals there that was the difference. So that was good heading into some positivity heading into Friday. And then Friday we played a really good hockey game. We really did. When you go back and you watch and you look at all the stuff, we were good. We had a couple chances there. The goaltender made some really huge saves on that could have really changed the complexion of the game. And unfortunately they had one go off a skate for the game-winning goal. So, but the effort was great, and it allowed our guys to have confidence. And we came into Saturday, and the dressing room was upbeat. It was alive. There was a lot of chatter, and obviously the way we played against them on Saturday, we were winning every race and puck battle, and able to hold them to 1 goal, which is in itself is a big deal. With them leading the league in goals and chances for. So, yeah, I mean, you could take 2 or 3 at home. I think you have to live with that. Obviously, we were good enough to take all 3, and we didn't, but I think that's a positive headed into next weekend.
I certainly think so, too. I really do. And it's a funny thing. You mentioned it, a 5-3 loss there Friday, but, you had them on the ropes. You had them in your sights, so to speak, whatever terminology you want to use. The reality is that you're up, and you have the opportunity. It's got to bring some confidence, as you mentioned, into what ends up being Saturday night. And Saturday night, a 4-1 win. I really felt like both games were solidly played physically. It's an interesting thing. Bismarck, to me, and I'm going to pick your brain here a little bit, because Bismarck does not seem to me like St. Cloud or like the Mallards, or like they want to be in zone. And you guys did a really good job, it seemed to me, of preventing that and of keeping things in the neutral zone and in transitioning. And no disrespect, because I know the Bismarck Bobcats are a very good hockey team, and I said this several times during the broadcast, and they are very well coached as well. But they seem like when they're best is when they're in zone and able to keep that, as opposed to some of the other teams that you've seen in the Central Division where transition is their game. Was that part of your game plan of kind of breaking that up and not allowing them, to transition and to move from zone to zone?
Yeah. I mean, we knew their in-zone offense was very good, and they rely on it heavily. And we knew that, we had to touch the puck first in the defensive zone, and we had to dictate what we were going to do next. And obviously we were quick to pressure both nights, and we didn't allow them, I think it was Friday night, the first minute and a half of the game, after the puck drop, they had a really good in zone offense and a couple chances off it. And I think that woke us up a little bit that, hey, we got to do a good job defending these guys because they get going offensively and they're really good. So I thought we adjusted really well. Our guys did a good job of that. And yeah, they were pretty intense in the defensive zone and breaking the puck out, clean exits were huge against them. And they have a really good forecheck. So our defensemen did a really good job of breaking pucks out. Probably the best all year, I would say, and it came at the right time against the top team in the league. So again, the biggest thing is seeing the maturity grow on some of these young guys, the Andersons and the Saphirs, and obviously Soderdahlin had the game-winning goal on Saturday, and he that was his first goal of the season. Just seeing some of these guys grow up, and as they're being forced into the game. Yep. Whereas if some of the other guys were back, they might not have been forced into those situations. They would continue to grow at their rate. But I think them having to step in and do what they're doing right now is only going to make us a better team in the end when we do get healthy. So those guys did a really good job this weekend. All those first-year players that stepped in and did roles, even our affiliate Cam Alt and Chucky Norris that stepped in from Sioux Falls Power, they competed. I think that's the word for this weekend. We competed, and Soderdahlin said it best in the paper. He said, "You know what? That's the new standard," and I love to hear that.
Well, I think you absolutely nailed that, Coach. I really do, because when it comes to guys like Soderdahlin or even Mugas and some of these guys that we've talked about over the last few weeks about being hurt and banged up and whatever, next guy up mentality. Well, it's not always the easiest thing to do, but they're doing it. They're like, you could see it, and it was really impressive. And as you said, the affiliates did a great job as well. And it only makes you more confident as you get healthy and start to move on to Mason City this coming weekend here and so on. I wanted to ask a little bit about goals. And I don't mean goals between the pipes. I mean goals overall, because clearly the long-term goal is a national championship. It is a Central Division championship and so on. Do you set short-term goals, as weeks go along and so on? I got a feeling that you do, but if you do, are you achieving them? Because it feels like you are. It feels like there's growth.
We're more towards the short-term goals. Obviously, everybody has the end game in sight, but I don't think you can ever get there without going through the process and trying to hit your short-term goals. I think if you do that, you're going to end up where you want to be at the end. Mm-hmm. But we do, our team set their own goals, and they set them based on 10-game increments. And beginning of this 10 games didn't really reach what we needed to reach, and then obviously as of late we're reaching what we intended to do. And they're written right up there in the locker room for everybody to see. And we try to achieve them, and they're good goals. Obviously we never want to lose 2 in a row. That's a huge one. If we want to make the playoffs, you can't lose 2 in a row very often. You have to find a way to salvage points. So, but yeah, the guys come up with their own because I think they need to be fully invested in it. I can come up with hundreds of them, but again, I'm not playing, so they need to be able to feel like they can attain those goals, because I think when you do, it's a sense of achievement, and that brings confidence.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, folks, again, a 5-3 loss Friday that it was a very close game, a very tightly played game, and the Wings had the Bobcats on their heels for a while there, and then a 4-1 win on Saturday. Again, as you mentioned, Bogakov with 5 goals in three games. Now, at the time of this taping or this recording, I don't know if he's going to be the star of the week. Sometimes it seems like the league decides, whether or not somebody's swept to gifts, but man, the guy's got a hot hand, and he's just he's an absolute sniper right now, and it's really cool to watch him play. I'll be perfectly. I was on my toes. I literally was like jumping around up there, and that doesn't always happen. Sometimes there's times maybe I'm not feeling it. Whatever. I don't know. It just. But Saturday night, it was like, oh my gosh, these guys, they're buzzing. The boys are buzzing, and I could feel it, and that was really, really cool. And I think the crowd felt it too. You could just see people getting up out of their seats and out in the stands, and the emotion and everything that was going on throughout the entire building. It was so cool, and it felt like a playoff game. It really kind of did feel like a playoff game. And I know that Bismarck, if Coach Roth or, Bismarck fans watch this, whatever, they're going to say, well, yeah, it's middle of the season. But the reality is that it wasn't a very intense game. And I get what they would say. I understand that. We've been there. We've been there. Heck, we were in Bismarck when they, broke the Wings win streak. But their crowd went nuts there too. Like it was, so it's been a little back and forth for sure. All right, North Iowa. Now, that's who you have next down in Mason City. A 9-win team. They're sitting 6th in the standings, and Ryan will show the standings here, no doubt. But the reality is they're a good hockey team. What have you seen from them? What do you need to do to keep this bus rolling down that same road?
Well, I think you got to stick to a lot of what we've been kind of doing. Pushing the pace, defending really well, all those things that it takes to win a hockey game. But games against North Iowa are completely different than playing Bismarck. Bismarck tries to outplay you. They try to outskate you and outscore you, and North Iowa tries to out-physicality you. And, sometimes it goes over the line with those guys. But, we got to be ready mentally for their type of game. And, they're going to come out and play the same way they always play. And they do have guys on their lineup that can hurt you. I mean, you look at their last game, how many goals they put up, despite they didn't win the game. I mean, I think they put up 5 and lost 8-5. So they have that ability to score. And they're always a hard competitive team to play against. I mean, they sent us on a little bit of a spin after they beat us here at home, and we kind of owe them. So this whole week of preparation is about North Iowa. It's almost like a playoff because we play them 4 out of the next 6 games. I believe both times in North Iowa. So it's important to get out and establish your game on Friday night and then go, obviously period by period after that. But it's going to be a hard series.
No doubt. They all are in the Central Division. They just really are. It's a funny thing. But North Iowa clearly with some talent there, and as you mentioned, physicality, some of which, might need to be matched, I guess, is perhaps the best word to put that politically correct. Coach, thank you so much for joining me. I got to tell you, I said I was on my toes. We had a great time Saturday night. The crowd was buzzing. The boys were buzzing, beating the Bismarck Bobcats, giving them their second loss of the regulation loss of the season, and showing the league really that the Aberdeen Wings are here and they're real. And that was pretty darn cool. I was pretty darn excited about that whole weekend. Again, after Watertown and then the 2 games with Bismarck. Best of luck against North Iowa. And, work cut out for you, no doubt. But that's always the case as the season rolls along. So, all right, folks, second portion of Wings Weekly will come up after this.
Pro Ag Supply leads the game with channel seed, liquid fertilizer, and tanks. With 3 generations of family service, we've spent over 40 years growing relationships with your family. So whether it's game day or planting day, Pro Ag Supply and Channel Seed are by your side. Pro Ag Supply.
L&O Transport and Farm wants you. They're currently hiring Class A CDL truck drivers and farm operators. Experience preferred, but not necessary. L&O offers great benefits like a 401k, 100% health, and year-end bonuses. Pay depends on experience, but wages are very competitive. They run the newest late model equipment and take pride in what they do. L&O Acres and Transport is a family-run business. Come be part of the L&O family. Give them a call at 605-226-0732.
Second portion of Wings Weekly continues. Well, not the second portion continues, but Wings Weekly continues. And now we start with the second portion. So you see where I'm going with that. JK here with you, and Willum Braun is joining me. Got a lot of questions for you. Some are dumb, some are pretty straightforward. Some will be repeated from other players and so on. But I appreciate you taking some time to join me.
I appreciate being here.
Tell you what, shutout on Wednesday, that had to feel pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, the first one of junior career always feels pretty good, so it was nice.
So, does it look like a beach ball? I mean, what's going on in your mind when you're feeling it and you're like blocker, boom, glove, do, pad, stick, and how, like, as you grow or not grow, as it goes throughout the course of the game, do you get more and more confident and it just starts to feel like I've got everything at this point?
Yeah, I mean, as the game kind of goes on, you kind of just get more relaxed and settled in, and it just kind of starts getting a little bit easier, and you're kind of just feeling yourself, and it gets a little easier. Like you're saying, puck gets a little bigger, it slows down a little bit, it's a little easier to see, and it goes from there.
Wow, big win there, Watertown. That got things going because you guys played really well against Bismarck, who is the number one team in the division, as we talked to Coach Langer about just a little while ago. And in the league, points-wise, but then, you end up a loss there, but still, really tight game. And then coming away with a huge game, had a huge win on Saturday, too. Another one where... All right, I got to be careful here because I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but I know you were below me at one point, and I saw you make like 4 saves in 12 seconds, like just crazy. And I looked up at the scoreboard and it had 1 shot on goal, and I'm going, no way. Like he absolutely was killing it. Like he completely covered that whole crease, and another one where. Confidence-wise, you're feeling it, and Connie's sitting behind me, and I'm looking at him like, did you see that? Like, and he's like, yeah, and how, as a goaltender, when they've got a rush or when they've got some in-zone presence, which, again, as I mentioned with Coach Langer just a little bit ago, I thought defensively you guys did a really good job of kind of keeping them out, and making them have to go back and forth rather than camp out. But how's your confidence level in a game like that?
I mean, it's just kind of like faith in yourself. I had a coach last year who said, you have to have confidence in yourself before the team can have confidence in you.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like go back to your roots, what you've grown up doing, just kind of had confidence in myself and just was there to give the team the best chance to win. I'm just doing my thing.
Doing your thing. Oh, by the way, a Pennsylvania native, I didn't start with that like I normally would, or about your past history, because most of it has been played in the East Coast, and here you are in Aberdeen, South Dakota, in the flat plains of the Midwest. But just doing a great job. Now I got to ask you, and that's part of why, is because coming off such a weekend like that, I was so excited and pumped for this team and for all of these players in this locker room as we look around, to have that level of success and to, be on your back in a lot of ways, because you're the last line of defense. You're the guy. And they stand up for you. They take care of you as much as they can and so on. But there's many times, like I said, where you're just making save after save, and things were going, the Wings' way. So very cool. So I kind of jumped past that, but let's. So maybe I guess what I should say is we're backtracking a little bit. How did you get started in hockey, and was there any influences or anybody maybe in your family that kind of said or showed you the way?
Yeah. So when I was a little kid, I actually started figure skating with my cousin when I was like 3 or 4. And so I went with the air.
Like pirouette, kind of?
Yeah, like figure skates, like all the above. Like it was...
Toe pick.
Yeah, it was fun. But I always hung out with my cousin, so she was very nice, and it was something I could do with her. Mm-hmm. And then, sure enough, in the rink next to us, there was learn to play hockey, and I wanted to try that, so I tried that. And from there, I went to in-house league. I started as a player, actually, at in-house league. Mm-hmm. And then the last game of the season, we didn't have a goalie on our team. So I played goalie and player stuff, and then ever since, just stuck with it.
Well, you answered my next question, which was, have you ever played any other positions? I say this every time I talk to a goalie, but I threw my hat in the ring as a goaltender. And it was largely because I liked the pads. I liked the equipment. I thought it was cool. I feel like Maximus Meridius just out there like, grrr, with all these pads on and stuff. But then I ended up, giving up on that and moving on to a right winger. But anyway, and that, a side note, if anybody's watching this from the Aberdeen Cougar Association or the Hockey Association, this is like the fourth, fifth guy, something like that I have heard this year alone say that they have started from give hockey a shot or learn to skate or something like that, one of those events. And I know that the Aberdeen Hockey Association does those things too. They can be very effective, and clearly that is the case with Mr. Braun here. All right, so, how about shout out to mom and dad, family? You mentioned a cousin. Obviously, the parents are such a huge part of any kid's growth as a player, as a person, as whatever. But anybody out there you want to say?
I mean, my mom and dad especially. They do so much with work and taking off and being able to get me to the rink every day. Mm-hmm. Shout out to my aunts and all them too, because I know they watch every game and they love to watch the Wings. So got a lot of big fans and supporters back home.
Good stuff. Yeah, man, you gotta love hockey moms. There's not much they won't do. No. Somebody once told me, and I hope this doesn't offend anybody, but somebody once told me that the difference between a pit bull and a hockey mom is lipstick, because they will fight you. They are loyal. They will fight you. They will take care of everything they need to do, and and they're right next to you, at your feet or whatever, just right with you the whole time, and that's a compliment. That's not a negative thing. All right, away from the rink. Well, wait a minute. Let's go back. I wanted to talk. I've mentioned that Connie was up by me on Saturday night, and he's looking at me and hitting me. Did you see that? I'm like, yeah, I saw it. He was like your biggest fan. Yeah. He was fanboying up there, totally just. And how cool is it to have a guy like him, that is a little older, but is like on your side and helping you out, and goalies are weird.
Yeah.
Y'all are, let's be honest, you're a little bit weird. So to have someone to talk to, someone that understands that you don't mind having a 90 mile per hour frozen piece of rubber shot at you and hitting you in the mask or in the blocker or whatever it might be, they get it. What has he meant? And of course, Coach Dumba too, and helping you guys out.
Oh, they're great. Cunny especially, it's nice. The confidence of an older guy too, who's been through it for the last 2 years now. He's a great mentor, and I think especially more than anything, he's a great human being. Mm-hmm. That's a big thing. When I come to the locker room every day, he's got a smile. He's joking with me. We're joking with each other, having fun. Any little pointers I need, he's there to help me out. and honestly the same. Like sometimes he asks me too about little things that I notice or anything. And
Sure.
kind of the ability to bounce ideas and things we think we could try to do better off of each other, and just being each other's fans and wanting to see the best for both of us and each other it's huge. It's huge.
Man, I tell you, I've been doing this a long time, and I've always been amazed in a lot of ways about goaltender pairs and about how well y'all work together, and how like you just said, he'll come to you and say, "Hey, man, what are you seeing that I'm not seeing?" or whatever it might be. Because I think a lot of people, like the casual fan, they may not really recognize or realize that. They may think it's sort of like a competition thing, but while everybody wants the minutes, everybody wants to go, get those wins. It is really a combined effort. It's very cool.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's a team sport, so like, if one guy's not pulling his weight, like it doesn't work. So everyone has to be able to feed off each other. And I mean, it's just success. Like you want the team to win, and you want everyone to be successful. You want to see everyone move on and grow and be better. So just a big part of it.
Yeah. That's awesome. What do you think, like, all right, again, if you're watching this, you probably, have watched the others, and you probably are a hockey fan. But if you aren't, or maybe you're listening in on Fox Sports Aberdeen or something like that, maybe you're not as familiar with it, but the goalie is protected. Like the boys are there for you, and the defensemen especially, when there's a jab at your glove, when you got one over the top or whatever, and they're gonna get their retaliation, they're gonna get something from it, and let them know, don't touch my boy, that's my guy, What does that mean to you as a goaltender? Does it mean, like, when the team comes up and like gives you the head bop, I guess, or the knucks or whatever it might be, and walks past, or not walks past, but skates past, and gives you one on the knee pads or whatever, maybe even after you're letting the goal in or whatever it might be, the level of support that you get from the group, what does that mean?
I mean, it means everything. It's just great reassurance too, of like you said, after they score a goal or something, when they boys come by and tap you and say, "Hey, we got you, we're gonna go get one," or just like it's nice to know they're there, because sometimes you can get lost sitting back there by yourself.
Oh yeah,
it's nice to know that the boys always got your back, especially too, like after the first goal on Friday when I got ran and Comfy, like got a penalty, jumped that guy. I mean, it means the world. Like after the game, I came up to him and gave him a tap and was like, "Yo, thanks for sticking out for me." Like, it means a lot knowing that the boys got your back.
Yeah. Man, I'm a little verklempt over here. I'm getting all emotional. It's for real though. This is that's what it's all about, being a team. That's what it's about, being a team. And for Comfy to be like, "Yo, that's my guy. Don't talk to him that way. Don't do him dirty." That's pretty cool. What do you like to do when you're not here?
I'm a big golfer back home. I love golfing with my dad's been something we've been able to do as I've gotten older more, since he works a lot. Yeah. So that's nice. Like to go to the Y sometimes, work out. Big movie guy. I just went and saw Gladiator 2 last night with some of the boys.
Was it good?
It was actually pretty good.
Yeah?
It wasn't as good as the first one, but I wasn't expecting that. The first one's unbelievable. So.
Wow. I threw a Maximus Meridius reference in, and now we are, full circle.
I wanted to say something, but I kept myself back.
All right. Movie guy, love it. All right. Golfer, not surprised. Everybody says they're a golfer. That's just the way it goes with hockey players, apparently. We've got North Iowa coming up here in, a couple of days. Now, this is a team down in what used to be a J.C. Penney's building that is a really nice facility. But, and some good people down there for sure, too. But a 9-win team, how do you keep it rolling? I mentioned this to Coach just a little bit ago. How do you keep the wheels on that bus just, going that same direction? Because you come off a big win on Saturday. And a big win on Wednesday, too, and a solid 3 games in 4 days. Now you face another team that you haven't seen, in their building yet. Mm-hmm. What do you got to do?
I mean, going back to the St. Cloud weekend, I think from that game on Friday, even though we kind of blew that game, we've been kind of every game going up and up and up and just getting better every game. And especially, I mean, that game on Saturday, I felt like we dominated. We hemmed them in their zone, cycling the puck, getting pucks on net. We almost had 50 shots against the number 1 team in the standings. So I think just got to keep it up. I mean, the boys have confidence in us now. We just did what we did this weekend. There's nobody that's out of reach. So just go in there, keep getting better every day, and keep the energy and keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I told Coach Langer I was on my toes, and I really, truly was. Even there are people up there where, the press box is, and they're looking at me like, the heck is with you? Like, I'm usually a little bit more calm, a little bit more, man, you guys had me going. I was like, yeah, let's go. This week's games at North Iowa, Friday puck drop at 7:10, Saturday puck drop at 6:30. Watch at NAHLTV.com. Listen on 94.1 The Rock, HubCityRadio.com, or The Rock app, which you can carry with you on any of your mobile devices. Next home games, Friday and Saturday, December 13th and 14th, versus the St. Cloud Norsemen. Tickets available at tickets.aberdeenwings.com or at any of the Sea Express locations in Aberdeen. Sponsorships and reserve season tickets are available for the 2024-2025 season still. Call Aaron at 605-380-5852 for more information. For all the latest news and information on the Wings, visit aberdeenwings.com or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. And, of course, you're probably watching this on YouTube. Willum Braun coming up huge in a lot of big games here in the very short history or very short past tense. So congratulations to you. Looking forward to more of what you can do for this Aberdeen Wings team. And thanks for taking some time to join us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, folks, that's going to wrap up this week's Wings Weekly.